Power is changing, but as new materials, topologies, and technologies emerge, engineers still face the same tough question: what's standing in the way of widespread adoption? At APEC 2025, we asked 10 industry experts to share what they think is the biggest roadblock to new power tech. Here's what they said.
Yeah. So as of right now, and with the new landscape we're going through, tariffs are a big, kind of a big talking point at this moment. So you have these, new designs going in, and a lot of things are cost driven. So it's with everything being cost sensitive, you're looking at different and emerging technologies and where to design them in from. So that's a big roadblock we're facing today. Is not only finding something that's driving design from a technology perspective, but that's also cost efficient. And tariffs are a unique situation we're facing these days of where to source this material from. So that is a big roadblock that we're facing now.
I think it's the same roadblock we've always had, which is there is only a certain amount of engineering bandwidth. So one of the challenge is to try and provide as many tools for the engineer as you can. So design tools, reference designs, things that make the job of the design engineer easier to do more quickly. That is the thing that we need to help with.
Actually, I will say the packaging. Packaging, when it comes to very high power, like when we talk about the 62 millimeters, what we call Q-dual 3 in on-semi, big module, you have big stray inductance. And the challenge for the next generation if we go to higher power with silicon carbide, is to solve those issues of stray inductance that slow down the switching loop and reduce the power capability of those packages. So I will say high power, high voltage package is a challenge actually, and we will have to solve that for the next generation.
The biggest roadblock, we have a pretty extensive booth here with a lot of solutions. We have wide bandgap solutions behind you here. We have a probe bar here, power supplies. So we want to talk systems, right? We want all these pieces that come together. But one of the biggest roadblocks we hear is we don't have everything still. Sometimes we don't have all the software. We don't have the right test for thermal. We don't have the right fixturing. We don't have the right switchable loads. And so one of the answers that we're trying to address this with, we can't fill out everything, is work with partners or system integrators. And we have someone actually in our booth here, PE Systems, that helps us put together a turnkey solution for wide bandgap that addresses the things that we can't address.
So one of the biggest potential blocks for adopting new technologies is customers want to have reliable supply. And TI, we've invested a lot in capacity to supply our customers. Another way that comes into play is customers want to have industry standard footprints for devices. So today at APEC, we are introducing one of our GaN devices that's in a Toll T package, which is an industry standard package. So that way you can easily have multiple sources of your devices and use the best device based on what you need.
Fittingly, probably the hardest thing is testing and measuring your brand new technologies. We're doing our best to keep up with you, and we want to partner with you to get there, but also we want to educate on how can you make the best measurements and get the best performance out of your device and measure it to meet those specifications and push the limit on technology.
So that's a great question. I see the biggest roadblock to new technologies in our industries. So APEC serves a lot of high-rel industries, medical, aerospace, space, and a lot of it is that they want reliability data and they want to know how things are proven. So it prevents them from adopting new technologies because they want to see so much data, and sometimes it's not available for new technologies. You have to take a risk, you have to test it, you have to put it into a lab, you have to fly it and see how it's going to perform ultimately. So I see that being a really big roadblock. Sometimes we just have to take a risk without having so much data to back things up.
And specifically for APEX, my opinion is it has to do with materials. Okay, so historically, all of our circuits have been built on silicon, right? But now with the introduction of silicon carbide and gallium nitride, we're reaching new levels in power, frequency, and voltage capability. So I think that's going to not only increase the amount of applications we can support, but it's going to really reduce the size of the packages.
I think one of the biggest roadblocks is really working closely with the suppliers. Often customers will come in and they'll say, I want this. But if we work closely with them and understand their needs, we can migrate them to maybe even a better solution or maybe some newer technology that we're just starting to launch. So by working closely with the suppliers, I think that's going to be a big differentiator.
The power industry in general is very conservative industry, which means that if you come with a new solution, people need to understand and rely on this one. And if there is no history, there is no background available, is taking time to really adopt by major suppliers. So which means that today majority of the application there are pin compatible solutions, but if you come with a solution today and there is no pin compatibility, it may be create a bottleneck. But I think the industry working today, as you see APEC today, all of the company working together to solve this problem. We are working with a different supplier to really create a similar solution to give the customers the benefit of the availability of the power solutions as well as the advance in the regarding to the power electronics.
So new power technologies, systems require different components. Wide bandgap is one part of it. You've got things like thermals, you've got things like magnetics, you've got things like PCB materials, and everything really has to keep up at the same pace, and the innovation all has to happen together. So we work very closely with partners on the thermal side, on the magnetic side, on the test and measurement side, to make sure that the ecosystem is growing along with the advancements that we're making on this technology. So no simple answer. It's really the ecosystem keeping up with all the innovation we're doing here.
Everyone's working towards the same goal: faster, smaller, more efficient power. But adoption takes more than innovation. It takes alignment between suppliers, tools, testing, and trust.